Hey everyone, it's Finn here from the Magic Minds, and today I'm just going to have a short video about one of the new M21 cards, Teferi Master of Time. Now, this Planeswalker has a really cool and new ability that is quite controversial in Commander. Today I'm going to be talking about if it's broken or not, and what some of the decks it could go in. So, Teferi Master of Time is 2 blue for a legendary Planeswalker, Teferi. And the crazy ability about this is you may activate loyalty abilities of Teferi Master of Time on any player's turn, anytime. You could cast instant. So obviously in Standard this is not quite as broken because there's only 2 players, which means there's only 2 turns. So you're only going to be able to activate his abilities once on your turn and once on your opponent's turn. But in Commander, this you'd activate on your turn and then each of your opponent's turns, which is most likely 3 and possibly more. So that's crazy because you can get a ton of value from Teferi. So his +1, you can draw a card, then discard a card. So not exactly card advantage like most Planeswalkers, but obviously you're going to be activating this a lot and you'll be able to filter through all your cards. -3, target creature you don't control phases out. I'm not going to get into the phase out rules right now, but it basically means it leaves the game for a turn until its controller's next upkeep, I believe. And it doesn't re-enter the battlefield. I'm just going to leave it at that. You can look it up online if you want to figure out more about the phases out. And then it's got a -10. You can take 2 extra turns after this one. So, this Planeswalker is obviously pretty crazy, new, and cool. So, do I think it's broken? Is it broken? Short answer, no. I don't think it's broken. But it is very, very powerful. Don't get me wrong. It can make a huge impact on the game with minimal effort on your part, which is very different from most Planeswalkers. I've noticed that Planeswalkers are not quite as powerful as they are in Standard when you think about them in Commander terms. So this is up there with probably some of the top Planeswalkers of the format. For example, Elspeth's Sun's Champion, which can make 3/1/1 white soldiers for its +1. It can destroy all creatures with power 4 or greater for a -3. And it's -7. You can get an emblem, which gives your creatures +2/+2 in flying. So that one's pretty crazy. There's also Sorin Markov, 3 black, 4 loyalty. It's got a +1 that does some damage. But what's really crazy about it, it's -3. You can make somebody's life total 10. So with 40 life, making somebody's life total 10. That is also pretty crazy. So I'm not sure where Teferi fits on the spectrum. But like those two, and also Ugin the Spirit Dragon, who's got a board wipe and some damage included, and a good ultimate. I'm not quite sure where Teferi really fits there, but I'd say he's kind of up there with that power level of those 3 kind of popular Commander Planeswalkers. So, his +1 is great at filling your graveyard really fast, because obviously, it doesn't give you card advantage, but you can turn that kind of filtering into card advantage with some graveyard commanders. For example, one of the ones that I really like is Riel the Everwise. So Riel the Everwise is 1 and a blue and a red for an 0/3. It's a legendary creature human wizard from Ikoria. And it gets +1/+0 for each instant sorcery in your graveyard. So obviously, if you're discarding cards, you can fill up your graveyard with some instant sorcery, so that'll help. But what we really like about this card is whenever you discard 1 or more cards for the first time each turn, draw that many cards. So Riel the Everwise turns Teferi's +1, which you can use on each turn, into a draw 2, discard 1. So now you're going to be able to generate tons of card advantage on each turn, rather than just being able to filter. And it also gives you an opportunity just to always be able to use Riel's ability and not go a turn without using it, which is great. Additionally, some other good ones are good graveyard commanders. For example, Jace Vryn's Prodigy. I'm not sure how to say Vryn's or Vierns or something. But it's 1 in a blue for a legendary creature, human wizard. You can tap it to draw a card and then discard a card. And if there are 5 more cards in your graveyard, exile Jace Vryn's Prodigy, then return to the battlefield transformed under your control. So that's obviously you want to get stuff in your graveyard, and Jace flips to a Planeswalker if you meet his requirement. So you'll be able to get that really fast if you have Teferi out, and that's going to help you it's kind of like a good instant sorcery graveyard deck. And then finally, we also have Cedrus, the Traitor King. 3 blue, black, red, 5/5. Legendary creature, zombie warrior. Each creature card in your graveyard has unearth. Basically, you can just unearth for 2 and a black, sorry, and you can pay the unearth cost, which in this case is 2 and a black, and you can return the card to play. It gains haste, and then you remove it from the game at the end of the turn, or if it leave play. So obviously you want to be discarding a lot of cards and drawing a lot of cards with Cedrus, so you can easily fill up the graveyard and kind of circumvent that discarding effect of Teferi's +1. So those are some just great commanders with this new Teferi. And so to wrap up, I just want to tell you what I think of the card. I really like it. I really like the new ability. I've always kind of wondered if Wizards would ever add something like this. And I know we had one Teferi a while ago that had like an emblem that could do this, but I was wondering if there would be like a static ability on the Planeswalker, and Wizards finally made it. I think it's good, and I think they did a good idea with it, because it's not too broken. They made the abilities not too broken that it just goes crazy in Standard and Commander. I think the +1 is fine. It's good in discard decks. The -3 instant speed removal, obviously quite powerful, but they made it phasing out, so it's not as broken as it would be. And then the -10 is also just there for if you can work up to there, you can just kind of win the game. So I really like this all around. I think it's balanced and very powerful, but not broken. Yeah, so I'm really happy with it. And at first I thought it was a little bit too broken, but I think it's in the right place for where it should be in Commander. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Teferi, and really happy with the card. Let me know in the comments what you think, and that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and keep magic on your mind.